Subscribe if you have LFG'd for a raid. It's friendly, and this is raid in minutes for King's Fall. Let's get into it. Encounter 1. You start in this main room with separate left and right rooms. Your goal is to cleanse the statue indicated by this glowing ball. You will do this for all 6 statues. Your job is to gather these buffs and bring them back to the main room and time the dunk with your teammate. So make the following teams, one for left, right, and main rooms. Left and right room teams should always have one person responsible for picking up the relic and the other person to kill adds and open barriers for the runner, as shown. The main room team should clear adds in this main room. Teams left and right go into their respective rooms. Left side looks like this, look for relics here. Same thing for right side. Start the encounter by picking up these 2 relics. Then count down and dunk them at the same time on a statue. In the meantime, the left and right room relic people should look for more relics throughout the rooms. Time the pickups together at the same time, return to the main room statues, and then dunk them at the same time as well. Escorts, please shoot down barriers and clear adds. Everyone should be quick because you do have a timer. Once all 6 statues are cleansed, you can do some platforming, enjoy some nostalgia, and I'll meet you at the next encounter. Next encounter, Annihilator Totems. Mapping the room, we have a deposit plate, and then 2 very important platforms. Totem in right room, totem left room. Loadout ideas, Eager's Edge is great. Bring unstoppable mods because you have this guy in this encounter. Split up into teams of 3. Each team will have someone on plate, someone stealing, and then someone killing wizard and knight. Let's understand each right now. Plate person, you actually start the encounter. Pick up this buff, and then head straight to the plate. Similar to Pit of Heresy, you have to stay on the totem to avoid wiping. Kill adds, and as you kill adds, you accumulate Deathsinger's power. Your job is to kill as much as you can and collect as much Deathsinger's power until you are relieved by your stealer buddy. The stealer interacts with you and then substitutes for you and stays on the plate. Meanwhile, you go back to the deposit plate, stand on it until your stacks go down, hence depositing Deathsinger's power. Wizard or knight person, you are assigned a platform. Go to that platform, kill wizard, and then kill the knight that spawns. The taken knight will drop a buff that allows you to become the next stealer. Pick up this buff, which kind of looks like Toland, and you are now the stealer. Your job is to go to that plate, relieve your buddy of his duties, steal and interact, as you see here, and become the new plate person now. Now your job is back to killing adds and collect Deathsinger's power. It's simply a relay race for these jobs to collect and deposit enough. The left side does the same thing as the right side, by the way. Detailed order of operations. Let's split this room in half and only focus on one side. To start, here's your plate person on plate. This is a backup person. Initially, there is no stealer yet. Wizard and knight killer person. Kill wizard and knight. Pick up resulting buff. Go to plate. Steal. Substitute in as new plate person. Plate person deposits buff stacks. Meanwhile, the third person can now be the wizard knight killer. Kill them. Pick up buff and become the next stealer. Go to plate. Steal. Substitute in as new plate person. Meanwhile, plate person go and deposit stacks. Just keep rinsing and repeating. Once you've deposited enough stacks, you are now worthy to move on to face the Warpriest. First boss, Warpriest. Prepare yourselves for reading, stepping on plates very carefully, timers and countdowns, and also stealing again. Yep, this is still a div encounter. It's not a very big room, but we can split it up into left, middle, right. Get familiar with the 3 glowing plates you will be stepping on in a particular order. The plate order is determined by these 3 stone tablets. Teams of 2, left, mid, and right. Each team will have one person whose only job is to step on plate. The other person, DPS and adds. Lastly, assign 2 All-Star Guardians who will sacrifice performing DPS and only focus on killing a taken knight somewhere on the other plates in order to get a buff. That extends your team's DPS time. Workflow is as follows. Adds, reading, completing plate sequence, and then DPS. DPS, reading tablets, and completing correct plate sequence. The following clips show the angles that each side of the room has of these stone tablets. You're looking for this characteristic glow, indicating that that side of the room is the correct next plate. You must step on your plate in order to see the glow. Completing the correct sequence creates a red bubble to do damage from. Let's go step by step. Middle plate always starts up plate reading. However, just how some buttons require you to push and then release to get an input, you as the middle plate must also step on, then step off to trigger the actual sequencing. This message allows you to push the button and release it to start things up. So go ahead and step right onto the plate, and then step off the plate. You have now started the plate sequence. Remember, main plate, push and then release the button. Now, middle person. During the button pushing startup, you will be able to see what the first correct plate is that needs to be stepped on. As shown, it's the left plate that needs to be stepped on first. By the way, red flame equals the next correct plate. Don't get confused if you see the blue flame also. The blue flame just means the plate has been stepped on. Getting it done. Reminder, the middle plate can see these stone tablets on the left and right. Left plate can see that side, right plate can see that side. If any plates are burning, everyone off the plates and reset. First, nothing happening. Middle plate step on and stay on just to see what the first plate will be. While still on the plate, sees left side glowing, indicating left side is the first plate of the sequence. Middle plate steps off. You can now start stepping on plates. Left plate person step on. Left plate person sees the right side glowing. So right side plate person step on their plate. By process of elimination, last one will be middle plate to be stepped on. If you step onto a plate, stay on the plate. Don't do it out of order, otherwise your plate will burn. If you can't see a glow, use process of elimination. Middle plate, step beyond to start it up and see the first plate. No glow. Well, that means middle plate is first plate. So step off. Sequence will begin. Middle plate is first to step on. Middle plate then looks for the next plate, and so on and so forth. After stepping on and staying on all 3 plates in the correct sequence, the last person to step on will get a red DPS bubble. Everyone except your 2 assigned Stealer Guardians should collapse on that red bubble to do DPS. Red bubble holder, count down your timer. Keep counting down because your Stealer buddy must go and kill a taken knight somewhere on the other 2 plates. That Stealer will pick up his buff, become the Stealer. In this clip, I'm ignoring doing DPS, killing this taken knight, becoming the Stealer, and rejoining my team on the left-hand side. I go up there and I steal this red bubble from him and take his spot. Red bubble should be counting down this whole time. In this clip, I'm holding red bubble. I'm counting down. I see my Stealer buddy on the very right side of the room, rushing to kill a taken knight and coming back to take my place. Stealer all-stars keep doing this with each other, swapping in and out, until damage concludes. With enough damage, you'll wipe the left stone tablet, and you only have 2 more left to use. There's a lot of debate about the best DPS spots right now, but with linears, div, well, you should not need to worry about max crazy DPS, because you'll have enough time to steal and extend DPS and kill him. If red bubble is on the left side first, go ahead and stay there and use up that left stone tablet, just like this clip is showing right now. If you get the red bubble anywhere else, use the following DPS spot, shown here now. Usually run in front of the right side plate on the ground level and pop a well right here. Remember, you'll be exhausting these stone tablets, so be mindful which ones you have left to hide behind. Hide behind 1 stone as a team, because he'll wipe any stone tablet that has people hiding behind it. Rinse and repeat until you use up all the stone tablets. Later phases will have taken enemies, but do the same things, same mechanics, and he'll eventually die. Next is a small puzzle, just follow these directions to get to the next area. Next encounter is Golgoroth. Linears, div, and well, very quickly be mindful of the following items. Make the following 2 teams. If you're on gaze duty, use sniper or linear on his back to get the gaze easily. It only takes 1 shot to get it. On the ceiling, you'll see these blobs, which you'll have to shoot down as a team. Stand wherever it drops to do DPS. Someone will probably forget, but during DPS, someone turns into a giant green nuke that will explode and kill the team. Watch your HUD for green smoke and get away if you're chosen. Use a breakdown, kill ads, get gaze, shoot blob, DPS. Overall room layout, note the wizards and knights. Divide yourselves up evenly. Once all ads are dead, everyone but the gazers move to the front of the room to distract the boss. Gazer 1 get in position to shoot his back. Rest of team should shoot the ceiling blob at this time. Gazer 1 shoot back and rush behind your team as shown to expose the crit spot to your team. Gazer, count down your timer the whole time. Stay behind your team position and adjust gaze as needed. Don't die to these taken bolts. As timer winds down, Gazer number 2 should get into position to swap and shoot his back. Note my teammate already on the far platform in position. Swap gazes successfully. Gazer 1 can now join DPS team below briefly before getting into position to shoot the back again. I would go to the platform at 5 to 7 seconds left. While gazers do their swap, rest of team shoot the next blobs to get new DPS plates. Shooting as a team drops the blobs quickly. Let's show the DPS rotation. DPS team waiting for gaze. DPS team moves to first blob on the left, shoots it and uses it, then goes to blob on the right, shoots it and uses it, then to the next left side one, then to the next right side one, and so on and so forth. With enough damage, you'll start seeing taken enemies, and it's the same mechanics. Kill ads, get the gaze, rush behind your team, focus the gaze on your team shoots blob, rinse and repeat, and he'll die. Take a breather in the next section and enjoy the platforming, and eventually you'll make your way to the penultimate encounter, Daughters of Oryx. Divide your team as follows. There are 4 plates, 1 person per plate, 2 floaters as backup for each plate. Divinity and linears are still very good. Galhorn is also good. Get comfortable with this room and with the plates. There are also taken snipers all around you. Use this map to orient yourself and agree on how to call out the plates. L1, L2, R2, Northwest, doesn't matter. Agree on something. You see a guardian per plate, a floater for each half of the room to help step on a plate if needed. One person will be taken and can't perform plate duty. Floater must backfill here. Purpose of encounter is to grab this floating Totem blob by stepping onto a starter plate and an end plate to build secret platforms. The taken guy will jump from the starter plate to the end plate via these secret platforms and pick up this Totem blob buff. If you're supposed to step on a plate, stay on the plate, otherwise the platforms will fade and the person will fall. Mechanics here are the same for Oryx as well. Find starter plate by looking for this knight. Kill him, step on plate, stay on the starter plate. This allows you to see the end plate over there. Communicate which plate that is. One of your teammates should then step on that plate. Stay on, build platforms. Make sure to look all around the room for the next plate. The taken guy can also hop on the starter plate and help call out the end plate. Once starter and end plate have someone on there, time for taken guy to platform. Please stay on the plates, otherwise the platforms will disappear. Once this buff is claimed, everyone can jump off the plates to reset. The game does a good job of telling you to get off by burning you. Repeat 3 times total. On the 3rd time, you will receive a steel buff, as shown. As a reminder, if a plate is burning, there's something wrong, everyone step off plates and reset. You may see these burning plates if someone steps onto the wrong plate or someone steps onto an additional plate. Just be mindful. So the taken guy picked up the stealer buff, and your job is to steal one of the daughter's bubbles and use it as your own DPS bubble for your team. Steal right side daughter bubble first and then kill her. Then repeat the plate mechanics, build the platforms, get the buff until you get the steal buff again. Then steal the left daughter bubble and kill her from within your newly acquired bubble. You can do DPS anywhere as long as you're within the bubble, but you can use these 2 ledges. Bubble person, navigate to the ledge facing the daughter you want to kill, and go ahead and DPS. Every damage phase concludes with this blinding suicide light attack. Everyone should stay within the bubble to stay alive. In this clip, I think I forgot, and you saw me leave right away by mistake. So you have one more daughter left, continue doing plate mechanics, build platforms, get the steel buff, take her bubble. The remaining left side daughter has a bit more HP, but you'll be fine. The final encounter incorporates many of the same mechanics as the daughters. Touch the Totem blob to start the encounter, and we'll get into this. Loadout, still div and linears. Here's your list of what's the same. Same plate assignment and mechanics, floaters to backfill when needed. Same stepping onto a plate mechanic to build invisible platforms. Same taken guy jumping on the invisible platforms to get a buff. Plates still burn when you're doing something wrong. In general, this is what's new. A pink ogre will spawn near each plate. Wherever this ogre dies, it will leave behind this bomb. It looks like this. Simply step into the aura to charge it up. Look for your name to make sure it's charged. Each plate will have a pink knight spawning somewhere nearby. Please kill them as fast as you can. Next up, look at this, another DPS bubble we have to steal. First up, kill all taken knights. Wherever Oryx punches, that is the starter plate for building platforms. Make sure it's glowing before stepping on. Step on, stay on, and look for the end plate. Both starter and end plate have someone standing on it, forms invisible platforms. In the meantime, pink ogres and pink knights will spawn. Very quickly kill them all. In the meantime, taken person, use the newly formed platforms to get the buff. Repeat 3 times total, getting the steel buff on the 3rd time. Each time a pickup happens, jump off to reset plates. Don't jump off too early or platforms will disappear. The next correct starter plate is always going to be glowing green. Everyone should really look out for this and call it out. Anyways, back to the steps. Steal a person should now steal the center pink knight's bubble. Kill him. Meanwhile, all plate people or floater people stand near your bomb. Do not go into it. And wait. Stealer bubble person, wait for this message for calling darkness. Once you see this message, tell team to go into their bombs immediately. Wait until you see your name to know that the bomb is activated. Do not leave too early. Then meet in the center where the bubble is and do DPS. Once damage phase is over, Oryx will retaliate with his arc bolt attack, which you can keep running away from, or he'll teleport you into the shadow realm. You have to fight his shadow. Now you've reset, go back to find the next starter plate and repeat all those steps. With enough damage, you take him to final stand. Oryx will move to the center. 2 final pink ogres will spawn in these 2 locations. Kindly ask 2 people to kill these 2 ogres to generate the final 2 bombs. These 2 people wait near the bombs, don't go into it yet. Wait for message before going into the bombs. Activate, meet in the center, and then do DPS. Congratulations, you just finished King's Fall. I try to get this out as quick as I can, and it's my first full guide for raids in minutes. If this helped, leave a like and maybe subscribe if this type of content helps you and your team. More importantly, leave feedback on how to improve. This is intended to be concise and short and cover as much as possible, but I do feel like it was still a bit too long. But any shorter, I'm worried I'll miss something. In any case, thank you so much if you watched to the end, and I'll catch you guys later.